Usually we look at older stories or internet mysteries, but this one was sent directly to my inbox about 3 days ago, and honestly, it kept me up last night. It's one of those stories that feels a little too real. You know, the kind where you start checking your own locks while you're reading it?
I've been working from home since before it was cool, mostly because I don't handle office politics well. I do data entry, transcription, captioning, basically anything that allows me to stay in my pajamas and avoid eye contact. But the gig economy has been drying up lately. My rent was due in 4 days and my bank account was sitting at a cool $12.40. That's when I found the listing on a forum I frequent. It wasn't on the usual job boards like Indeed or Upwork. It was buried in a subreddit for audio engineers. The post was vague. It just said, short-term contract, high-fidelity audio analysis, must have noise-canceling headphones and a quiet environment. $50 per audio hour. $50 an hour for listening to audio. That's insane. Usually you get paid peanuts for that. I thought it was a scam, obviously, but desperation makes you do stupid things. I DM'd the user. Within 3 minutes, I had a reply with a link to a secure upload portal and a non-disclosure agreement. I skimmed the NDA, standard legal mumbo-jumbo about not sharing the content, signed it, and hit send. The instructions were simple. I would be sent batches of 30-minute audio files. My job was to listen to them and tag any anomalies. They defined anomalies as structural settling, mechanical humming, organic breathing, or speech. I figured I'd be listening to wiretaps or maybe training AI for smart home devices. I put on my Bose headphones, poured a massive cup of coffee, and downloaded batch 1. The first file was boring. And I mean mind-numbingly boring. It was just air. You know that sound of a room? It's not silence, it's the presence of a room. A low hum of a refrigerator, the distant sound of traffic, the occasional creak of wood. I sat there for 25 minutes, staring at the waveform on my screen, waiting for a spike. Nothing. Just dead air. I marked it as clean and moved to the next one. Easy money, I thought. I calculated that if I pulled an all-nighter, I could make rent in 2 days. File number 4 is where things got weird. Around the 12-minute mark, the waveform spiked. I rewound and turned the volume up. It was a sound I recognized instantly. It was the sound of a heavy metal door slamming shut, followed by the distinctive clink-clank of a keychain hitting a wooden bowl. I paused the track. A chill went down my spine, not because the sound was scary, but because it was familiar. It sounded exactly like the front door of my apartment building. We have this heavy security door that slams if you don't touch it, and I have a small wooden bowl on my entryway table for my keys. Coincidence, I muttered to myself. Lots of people have heavy doors. I kept listening. At 14:03 in the track, I heard footsteps. Heavy, tired footsteps on hardwood. Then a sigh. A male voice muttering under his breath. I cranked the volume to max to catch the words. The voice whispered, "God, it smells like stale coffee in here." I froze. I literally stopped breathing. I had said that. I had said exactly that out loud to myself about 2 hours ago when I walked back into my office. I ripped the headphones off and looked around my room. My apartment is a 4th-floor walk-up. I live alone. My windows were closed. Okay, I thought. Maybe my computer microphone is on. Maybe I accidentally recorded myself and the file got mixed up. I checked the file metadata. That's when my stomach dropped through the floor. The file wasn't created by my computer. It was uploaded to the server yesterday. How could a file uploaded yesterday contain audio of me walking into my room today?
I should have quit right then. I should have deleted the account and formatted my hard drive, but I didn't. I needed the money, and a part of me, the rational part, was convinced this was a prank. Maybe my friends were messing with me? Maybe I was hallucinating from stress? I opened the next file, File 005. The timestamp in the metadata read, tomorrow, 3 a.m. I looked at my clock. It was currently 11:45 p.m. I put the headphones back on, my hands shaking. I pressed play. Silence. Just the room tone again. Then at the 2-minute mark, a noise. Scritch, scritch, scritch. It sounded like fingernails scratching against fabric, or maybe upholstery. Then heavy breathing. Not my breathing. It was wet, ragged breathing. The kind you hear when someone has a chest cold, or when they are trying very, very hard to be quiet. The sound was incredibly close to the microphone. The stereo separation was amazing. It sounded like whoever or whatever was breathing was literally inches from the recording device. Then a voice. My voice. But it sounded distant, muffled like I was in another room. In the recording, my voice screamed, "Who's there? I have a knife!" The wet breathing stopped abruptly. Then a low, guttural sound. A laugh. I paused the recording. My heart was hammering against my ribs so hard it hurt. I looked at the time. 11:58 p.m. According to that file, in about 3 hours, I was going to be screaming at someone in my apartment. I stood up. The silence in my apartment suddenly felt heavy, like the air pressure had dropped. I walked out of my office and into the hallway. The lights were off. The wooden bowl for my keys was sitting on the entry table. I stared at the vent near the ceiling, the air conditioning vent. In the recording, the wet breathing sounded distinctively echoey, like it was in a confined metal space. I grabbed a chair from the kitchen and dragged it under the vent. I don't own a gun, but I grabbed a heavy metal flashlight I keep in the junk drawer. I climbed up on the chair. The screws on the vent cover were old and painted over, but one of them looked shiny, like it had been turned recently. I put my ear against the metal grate. Nothing. I was about to step down, feeling like an idiot, when I heard it, from deep inside the ductwork, coming from the direction of my bedroom. Scritch, scritch. And then, a notification sound from my computer in the other room. A ping. I jumped down and ran back to the computer. A new email from the employer. Subject, you are doing great. Body, please continue to file 006. Do not stop. We are listening to you listen. I looked at the webcam on my laptop. The little green light was off. But on my screen, the waveform for file 006 was already loading. And the waveform wasn't flat. It was erratic, violent. It looked like a scream.
I live in the middle of the city. I always have 5 bars, but right now, no SIM card. I ran to the front door. I unlocked the deadbolt and pulled. It wouldn't budge. It wasn't locked, it was held. It felt like someone on the other side was pulling the handle at the exact same time I was pulling it. "Let me out!" I yelled. From the other side of the door, from the hallway, I heard a voice. It was my voice. "Let me out!" it mimicked. But the tone was wrong. It was flat, mocking. I stumbled back. I retreated to the only room with a lock that worked, the bathroom, which is where I am right now. I'm sitting in the bathtub with my laptop. It's 2:45 a.m. Remember the file? The one time stamped for 3 a.m.? I can hear movement in the living room. It doesn't sound like a person walking. It sounds like sliding, like wet meat dragging across the floorboards. I have the headphones around my neck. File 006 is still open on the screen. I shouldn't play it. I know I shouldn't play it, but I need to know. I need to know what happens next so I can change it. If I hear how I die, maybe I can avoid it. I hit the space bar.